This one's definitely going to content match. Welcome back to the fourth RToD Revolutions, a series where we look at mostly 45s, but really any record that we could spin that could be rare, unique, or just meaningful to me. And today it's a meaningful one, and it's definitely going to do a content match. So we'll see how well this goes. This is somebody you definitely know, probably, hopefully, Harry Chapin, and this is W.O.L.D. Right now, he had a lot of hits, right? But I want to talk about W.O.L.D. and we're going to do a little more talking than spinning because. Content. This one was pressed by Elektra Records, and what I really like about it is the sleeve matches it. It even says it down on the bottom. I love when you get a matching 45 with the sleeve with the record label on it. So, what is W.O.L.D? Well, it's call signs, right? W.O.L.D. It's a fictional radio station for this song. Now, I first heard this. I was probably 10 or 11. I really don't remember. So some backstory. When I was younger, our church, we broadcasted the Mass, right? It was on commercial television. I've talked about this story before. I might talk a lot about it a little more in depth later on. But what was unique about it, because you say, oh, well, a lot of places, a lot of houses of worship broadcast. But at that time, and I think even today, St. John Galbraith Cathedral in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, was and might still be the only Catholic Mass in North America broadcast on commercial television. It's a WWCP-TV Fox Channel 8 in a actual worship environment live. That's a lot of words, but what does that mean, right? It's if a baby's crying, you hear it. If the police or fire department is going down the road and the sirens are on, you hear it. It's commercial television. So if there is breaking news or something like that, they will interrupt us, right? We buy the whole hour, so there's no commercial breaks. But that was when I was doing it, was unique. And I think today it's even still unique because a lot of masses, doesn't matter what denomination you watch, if they are on TV, it's either in a studio church or it's in the actual church, but it's off hours. So there are no disruptions. If there's people in there, they are asked to be there. I don't want to call them actors, but they're asked to be there. It may be pre-recorded, so that way if there are issues, maybe somebody is coughing or sneezing, they can edit that out. We didn't do that. It was live. Everything was there just the way it was. And it was a really interesting learning experience for me because at that time, I really wanted to get into broadcasting, and I would still love to get into broadcasting, and that's kind of why I started this YouTube channel. I really thought that I would have been, maybe a talent, an anchor, producer, have a radio station or something like that. But what was great about that is the mentors, the people that volunteered their time were professionals. The one man, there's many people, Dino Tessari, Chuck Bridges, were, they worked in broadcasting for years. Dino Tessari, after World War II, he started at NBC, the NBC DC office, then he went to New York, and then he went back to his hometown of Johnstown with WJAC, which is an NBC affiliate. JAC is still around today on Channel 6. They were, and I think they still might be, one of the largest news studios as far as square footage east of the Mississippi, right? It's a massive building. They could probably have 4 or 5 sets in there, although they're right now using one as far as I understand. But, there was a lot of engineering staff, people who I mentioned Dino and Chuck because unfortunately they passed away. But there are still people that are doing it alive today, and I'm not going to say their names, but I'm incredibly grateful for everything they have passed on to me because I was operating cameras, I was operating the soundboard, I was the switcher, I was directing, working with VTRs, editing, the whole gambit of production. And, they were teaching it. And, me and my friends at a very young age were learning this and doing it. And, there were a lot of times where, so we had the whole hour mass and we had a 30-minute show beforehand that the entire planning, production, editing to execution was on some Sundays, depending on the staffing and the schedule, done by the entirety of people under 16, right? I couldn't even drive yet, but I was coordinating with WWCP TV Fox Channel 8 for our microwave feed. That's how we sent the signal. We didn't use satellite. We used a microwave it was a 2-hop across the ridge there. But, I'd call ahead, we'd plan up, turn the microwave, do our sync signals, sync the clock, put Keller bars up, make sure we matched NTSC, doing all of this at an incredibly young age. But working with some of these engineers, that we had to pick up equipment. This is where the song comes in. Follow me. I'm rambling here. I should probably just do a video on the production team, but we went to another engineer. I'm not going to use his name, right? We'll just whatever. We went to his storage because we needed to pick up some equipment, and he's been doing this for decades, right? So he's got everything there. What was interesting at this time, I acquired one of the old soundboards that we used. It was an RCA BC7B. It's a huge beast of a board. He had one, and I was picking his brain about things I could do to work on it. There were some things that needed fixed and everything. He got some schematics and everything. But he also had a small little studio there, a recording studio that bands or singers would come in and, he can record their music. And during that night, I vividly remember on his RCA BC7B, we spun W.O.L.D. And it was interesting because the whole premise of this song is, it's a young gentleman who becomes a DJ, and all the trials and tribulations of being a DJ, moving around, going from morning shows and everything else. And it was interesting. It really hit me because this is something I wanted to do. And the song doesn't exactly give it a great light, but it's a really interesting song nonetheless. Just love the way it starts with the guitar.
Hello, honey, it's me. What did you think when you heard me back on the radio? What did the kids say when they knew it was their long-lost daddy? Oh,
There's almost an echo to his voice, kind of like AM radio. Tempo picks up.
How we listened to the radio, and I said that's the place to be. And how I got the job as an FM jock the day you married me. It was 2 kids and I was into AM rock, but I just had to run around. It's been 8 years since I left you, babe. Let me tell you about what's gone down. I am the morning DJ at
W.O.L.D.
playing all the hits for you, wherever you may
Maybe. There's a line coming up. I love it.
The bright good morning voice who's heard but never seen.
Here it is. Here it is.
Feeling all of 45, going on 15.
So let's pause here. We're going to pause here for a second. I love that. 2 lines in there, right? The bright good morning voice that's heard but never seen, right? That's radio, right? You hear these people, especially if there's a morning show you listen to, you know them, they're a part of your life, but you never see them, right? But the second part there, feeling all of 45, but going on 15, right? That hit me because I wasn't 15 at the time yet, but I was very young, and I was doing big time production, right? I mean, sure, WWCP TV Fox Channel 8 isn't exactly the biggest network, no offense, right? It's pretty big in Pennsylvania, but we were going out to 40 to 60,000 homes every Sunday, and those were at least the numbers we knew. And like I said, we were doing pre-production, live television, coordinating with satellite. We did satellite later on, but microwave or satellite uplinks, getting everything on air at an incredibly young age. But so that was you're doing a job of somebody decades older than you at a very young age. But this is radio, right? Follow me on this, right? So, he's playing music on the radio, feeling all of 45, a 45 record going on 15. There's a lot of I don't know, maybe I'm looking into it, right? I'm like some English teacher trying to, find some meaning in Beowulf or something. But I love those lines. It's a really good song.
Going on 15.
Change.
The drinking I did on my last big gig, it made my voice go low. They said that they liked the young sound when they let me go. So I drifted on down to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do me a late night talk show. Now I've worked my way down home again near to Boise, Idaho. That's how this business goes. I am the morning DJ at
W.O.L.D.
playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The bright good morning voice who's heard but never seen.
Here it is. Feeling all the 45, going on 15.
I'm making extra money doing high school sock hops. I'm a big time guest MC. You should hear me talking to the little children and listen what they say to me. I got a spot on the top of my head, just begging for a new toupee. There's a tire around my gut from sitting on it, but it's never gonna go away.
It gets depressing quick.
Sometimes I get this crazy dream that I just take off in my car. But you can travel on 10,000 miles and still stay where you are. Thinking that I should stop this jockeying and start that record store. Maybe I could settle down if you take me back once more.
Wrap it up.
Okay, honey, I see. I guess he's better than me. Sure, old girl, I understand. You don't have to worry, I'm such a happy man. I am the morning DJ
At W.O.L.D.
playing all the hits for you, wherever you may be. The
Bright good morning voice, who's heard but never seen. Feeling all the 45, going on 15.
I am the morning DJ at W.O.L.D.
And it plays again, but really good lines on there. You can go over 10,000 miles, but still be in the same place. I know I messed that line up, but there's a lot of meaning on that, and that's a hell of a good song. I don't care who you are, that's a really good song, and it meant a lot to me growing up, because there's a lot of times, I had that big RCA BC7B set up in my attic. I had 2 record players on it. It would broadcast on AM. I had a small AM transceiver or transmitter, not a receiver, transmitter. I had a whole bunch of equipment on it, and I would just play music. And in my mind, I'd pretend I'd be a DJ, and I kind of was, because it was going out on AM. Nobody was listening. I don't think so. At least the FCC never found out. It was short. It was short. It was legal. It was compatible. It was fine. But I loved that. That was that was a lot of fun. I might have to do a video of just broadcasting and the equipment we used and everything. But I think that's going to wrap this episode up. I absolutely love that song, W.O.L.D. Hell of a good song. Hey, if you like what we're doing here at Retro Tech or Die, wow, right? And especially if you like this series, RToD Revolutions, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you next time.